Has triggered a unhinged cosplayer into committing terrorism. We're going to get that today on Legal Minds, where we teach you be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, and this is a fast facts version, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. And this one was one as a person who's attended a couple anime and gaming conventions in the past, maybe a bit of a weeb. This one definitely got my attention because there are a lot of unhinged things that go on in the anime, gaming, con world. But, you know, terrorism is typically not one of them. Typically, you're not facing up to 10 years in prison. But we're going to get into that today. If you guys like these fast facts, make sure you like the video and drop a comment below. So what happened here? What's going on in this particular case? This involves a cosplayer named Kit Noel. Who got involved here in Texas. So who is Kit Noel? Well, Kit Noel's a cosplayer who has a decent following on TikTok. Of course, you know, it's kind of easy to farm up on TikTok or Instagram. You can see is much less followed, the likes down there. But you can also see her next con is the San Japan official con, which is the one that is at risk here. But you see, she had some sort of clout here. I would say she was just an average, knowing, you know, cosplay models and whatever, seems pretty average, standard, run-of-the-mill cosplayer. You know, you can see she's got some works here, you know, doing anything from, you know, ranging to, I guess, Hellgirl here to, well, a more appropriate Joker-esque look here. So yeah, there's a lot of different looks, but I'd say she's an average cosplayer, pretty much normal cosplayer. Except for when it came to San Japan. Now, when it came to San Japan, she was not going to this convention, right, for the purpose of enjoying herself. This is, of course, in San Antonio, enjoying herself with, you know, wonderful cosplay, you know, perhaps going to some panels. I love panels. Panels are great. Or, you know, checking out cool stuff like the cool cars, the merch, etc. No. She was going to this convention in order to make terroristic threats. That's right. According to her arrest report, her last name is actually Manning. Says she replied to an Instagram story posted by another booth. So there's another cosplayer who rented a booth near her, and said and wrote, planting a bomb in their booth today. Yeah. Unhinged. And this was all because she disliked the gaming nutrition company GamerSupps. That's right, blame GamerSupps, the really horrible people who bring you Anime Girl Thigh, caffeine free, Bowberry, also caffeine free, and Foxley, which is also caffeine free. Yes, of course. This is absolutely the worst thing ever. It must go. The war on Anime Girl thighs, on Bow, on Fox Girls. Yes, this is all very true. This is all very valid. No, of course not. You cannot threaten to plant a bomb in a booth because you simply do not like somebody's, you know, gaming nutrition company. And yes, that gaming nutrition company has taken a stand on certain issues, or rather they've refused to be budged or refused to be canceled. They've kind of held the line. And, you know, that's something that some people love them for. A lot of people love them for. But of course, there are people that are extremely unhinged, can't control themselves, and this is an example of going too far. And it seems to me that we're seeing more and more of this, like the instances of this really unhinged behavior is increasing because these sort of things are being normalized. We've talked about this with language on Twitch and other platforms where people are getting very used to defamation. They're getting very used to threats. They're getting very used to, you know, making casual references to violence or ending somebody. Very, really horrible things that you should not be behaving that way at all, pretty much ever. But that's what's going on in a lot of these realms, and people like you know, Kit Noel thought this was okay, or Miss Manning, if you want to call her that, thought this was okay. So of course she was booked into the Bexar County Adult Detention Center on 8/31 at 9:46. She's a white female, 4'11", a tiny one with 114 pounds, blonde or strawberry hair, hazel eyes. And here we have it, the charge: terroristic threats. So let's get into what that is, and let's look at that statute and what she's looking at. So here's the statute. This is Texas statute section 2207. And that says a person who commits an offense, if he, and by the way, the statute, it's gender neutral despite saying he, so he means he or she, whatever. A person commits an offense if he threatens to commit any offense involving violence to a person or property with intent to. So once again, a threat. So threatening to commit violence with intent to cause a reaction of any type to this type of threat by official or volunteer agency organized to deal with emergencies. So trying to cause, a stress on the 911 system or volunteers or firefighters or whatever else. Number two, place any person in fear of imminent serious bodily injury. Well, that definitely is a thing. That's for sure there. Next, prevent or interrupt the occupation of a room or place of assembly to which the public has access. Well, that could be a convention center. That could be considered that. Definitely number two. Number three, possible as well. Number four, cause the impairment or interruption of public communications, public transit, public water, gas, or power supply. Not really catching it there. But number five, which actually carries the highest penalty, says placing the public or substantial group of the public in fear of serious bodily injury. Boom, we have it right there. The public is gathered, not just a single person under number two, but the public is gathered at a convention. So number five, it's risking a substantial group of people. And what is the penalty? Well, the penalty for this under the offense under section A4, A5, A6, and this was once again, if you go back and look at this is A5, right? You've got up to 10 years in prison. It's a felony of the third degree. So 10 years in prison because you do not like GamerSupps. I think we all need to take a deep breath, and I think we all need to think long and hard when we make these statements where we are threatening other people, we are defaming other people, we're attacking other people, and particularly something like a bomb. You do not joke about that. That's something you say. Good luck saying that in an airport. You'll know where you'll find yourself. And you shouldn't be able to feel free to say this on an Instagram post, whether, you think that's okay in your private circle or not, or at home or whatever. You cannot say these things publicly. It's just not okay. And there is something going on, whether it is, a mental health crisis or just an escalation where this is happening more and more. And what we're going to see is we are going to see continual bookings in these mass events. And I will tell you right now, having been to anime conventions, I've been to gaming conventions, the people are usually lovely people. They're usually great. They're usually fine and fun, but this is how it gets ruined for everybody. This is how the conventions go away, the fun stops, the gathering stops, because when these things start happening more and more and more, they're just going to have to say, okay, well, I guess we're not having an event, or okay, I guess we just can't do booths, or okay, we can't do XYZ, because these incidences are increasing. And it's largely, in many cases, because people are focusing on the politicization. So once again, if people could ramp down that politicization, the politics, I think that would go a long way. And certainly terrorism was not called for here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.